What's up, everyone? This is FPSticks bringing you some more Go Battle League videos here. This video is going to be showcasing Haunter, and I have some ridiculously amazing matches in this video. Haunter is really fun to use. I never really was the biggest fan of Haunter because it was kind of contingent on you having Shadow Ball as the charge move, which used to be a legacy move, but now that it's not legacy, I was actually able to get a Haunter with really good PvP IVs. So I figured I'd give it a try, and I've seen some other YouTubers using Haunter, and I'm like, all right, let's see what the hype is all about. And I am definitely aboard the Haunter hype train. I've mostly been using Haunter as a safe switch because Haunter with an energy advantage is pretty insane, and it really puts the stress on your opponent to decide whether or not you're shield baiting them or you're actually going to land that Shadow Ball and do a ridiculous amount of damage. The only thing with Haunter is that you do need to make sure you save at least one shield for it, because in the zero shield, like even energy scenario, it's pretty garbage because it's just so glassy, and even things that hit for neutral on it just can easily one-shot it, which is absolutely insane. This line of three is kind of weak to grass, obviously, because I have Dugong and Whiscash, but as long as my Whiscash especially can avoid the grass type, it's totally fine. Like in this scenario right here, I have a Grottle, but because I have up 2 shields, I'm able to take out that Grottle. It's a Zoomeril in the back. Just going to be able to land some Shadow Balls on this Zoomeril. It's going to do a lot of damage. Then I'll bring out my Whiscash in the back and just go straight Mud Bomb, and I'll be able to take this game without having to use any shields. I think in this set of 10 battles, I go 8 wins and 2 losses, which I was very satisfied with. I was doing some more games with this team of 3 today, and I just kept getting hard countered by either grass leads or steel type leads, so I might have to change some things up, but I really like Dugong and I really enjoy using Haunter. So now, because they switched in their Registeel to meet my Dugong, I'm just going to bring out my Whiscash, which is just absolutely a wall to this Registeel. Even if that was a Focus Blast, I'd be okay with letting it go. I'm over farming here a lot, and then I'm just going to throw a lot of Mud Bombs here. People very rarely shield their Registeel. Same with the Zoomerils. They just really do not commit shields on whatever the first charge move is on these super bulky Pokemon. And it makes sense because it's not going to one-shot the Pokemon, but it really just gives you that opportunity to land your heavier hitting moves. My Whiscash is going to be able to drop some Mud Bombs on this Swampert. They are committing to the farm down there. Great play. I was just about to get to another Mud Bomb. Now, I know they still have Altaria in the back, so I'm actually going to bring out my Dugong here. I do want to make sure that my Dugong can get paired up with that Altaria as well, but it's pretty risky to bring my Haunter in onto a already loaded Swampert, and because they let that charge move go through, I actually bring out my Haunter and Shadow Claw it down. Out comes the Altaria. I'm just going to go straight Shadow Punches here to try to burn shields. I do get one shield there because I want my Dugong to be able to land some Icy Winds. Debatable on whether or not I commit a shield here. I do commit my shield because I want to put on more shield pressure with this Shadow Punch, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get to another Shadow Punch. I think that Dragon Breath damage is going to be a little bit too insane. Yep, not enough, and this actually puts me kind of in a scary position. Luckily, my Dugong is very healthy. We're getting some lag here, kind of annoying. But I could even fully commit to just a fast move feint down here, and these Ice Shards should do enough damage to take out this Altaria. Able to take that match. Good games. Going up against Joey VOV. Let's see how this plays out. Really bad lead for me, so this is where I'm going to switch into my Haunter. I'm expecting the switch out, but they are staying in. They are staying in, which really makes me question what they have in the back, because when you stay in for this long, he must have been trying to decide what to switch in, and then he's just going to stay in with this Melmetal, which is a very bold move. I do have to commit both shields here, though, because the rock slides would hit for so much damage on Hunter. Gonna throw a Shadow Punch here, and then hopefully be able to get to another Shadow Punch. I get the last shield, and Hunter pretty much wins every single CMP tie in the Great League, so it's really nice I was able to win that CMP tie. I still have a fairly healthy Hunter, but this could just be energy for a Pokemon to farm up. Out comes Meganium. I didn't think I was going to be able to get to that Shadow Ball, but they make a sacrificial swap into Azumarill. And this actually puts me in kind of a sketchy position. At least I know that Meganium is in the back now, but I need to either store up enough energy in this Whiscash to drop a Blizzard on the Meganium, or I need to land some Ice Shards and Icy Winds on that Meganium. And in the Zero Shield scenario, it's very scary because it's going to one-shot my Whiscash and it's going to do like 85% damage to my Dugong. I catch that Play Rough. This Play Rough should be barely enough to take me out. Now I'm going to have to come in with my Dugong here and go for a very aggressive farm down, but they make a great play. I catch this Frenzy Plant with my Haunter, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to my Icy Wind before this Meganium gets to the Frenzy Plant. It's going to be very close. Ooh, I think this is going to be just enough to take me out. Barely not enough. Oh my gosh, and I'm not able to get off that Icy Wind. Great play there. Going up against Beer5959 Poo-Ha. It's kind of a funny name. At the end of this video, I was actually able to grind up to 3650 for my rating, which is definitely the highest that I've ever been, so that's pretty exciting. They switch out into Toxicroak. I'm going to switch into my Whiscash, because the Mud Bombs from the Toxicroak with an energy advantage would still hurt Haunter pretty bad, so I didn't feel comfortable bringing Haunter in that particular scenario. Whereas these Mud Bombs are going to do a ridiculous amount of damage to Toxicroak. And I want to leave this with a shield advantage, which is really going to help Haunter sweep in the endgame scenario if I'm up shields. So I get both shields right there and the Toxicroak counters me down. I'm totally okay with that, because now I'm going to bring out Haunter and farm down this Toxicroak. And I'm going to be able to drop Shadow Ball on anything that comes in. And I still have a shield. Out comes Hypno. The confusion damage is really going to add up, so I really need to get the Shadow Ball off right away. Boom! Takes out the Hypno. That is awesome. If the Toxicroak comes back in, it's just more energy for me. It's a Azumarill in the back. I'm just going to go for straight Shadow Ball. Actually, I'm going to debuff this Azumarill first with my Dugong. I loaded up on my Haunter, and then I brought in my Azumarill because of I know how terrible the matchup is against the Toxicroak. And I'm still going to save this shield for the Haunter and just chip away at this Azumarill as much as possible. Over farming here a lot because I was expecting the switch into Toxicroak pretty soon. There's the switch. I could have committed to just Ice Sharding down that Toxicroak, but I throw the Icy Wind anyways. This is going to be a solidified victory anyways. Azumarill has to take out this Dugong. I have a loaded Haunter with a shield. Definitely going to be able to handle the Azumarill. So out comes Haunter. Up in shields. I drop the Shadow Ball. Oh my gosh. Does so much damage. Good games there. Haunter is really fun to use, but man, you got to make sure you give that thing shields and you got to avoid the confusion damage, definitely. Going into another game. This Dugong lead sometimes works out really great and sometimes it's just absolutely horrible. Oh, we get paired up against the same person again. It's always unfortunate when this happens. Even when you win the match, it's just not fun to play the same person twice. So I know my Haunter needs to avoid the confusion damage. I know he's got Toxicroak and Azumarill. So with that knowledge, we'll kind of see how we both play this scenario a little bit differently. I do get the Icy Wind off on the Hypno before he's able to hit me with a Thunder Punch. Really great for me, even though that's super effective damage. This really does not do that much damage. after the attack has been dropped. This is why Dugong is so fun to use and so annoying to go against. Out comes the Toxicroak, going to bring out my Whiscash again because this is the most solid response to the Toxicroak. I know he's still going to have an Azumarill in the back. And again, I don't feel comfortable bringing my Haunter into a Toxicroak with loaded energy. Even though I would heavily resist the counter damage, it's debatable. I would heavily resist the counter damage, but have to use shields. Maybe I could fully farm it down with Shadow Claws. I don't know. That's a possible way I could have played out the scenario, but I'm up a shield. I still have switch advantage. Out comes Azumarill, able to farm me down a little bit. Waiting out the switch clock. Then I'm going to bring back in the Dugong. I really want to get this Icy Wind. I store up an Icy Wind, and then I switch into Haunter to catch this Ice Beam. Kind of an interesting play. Out comes the Hypno again. One Shadow Claw should be enough to take out this Hypno, but I don't want to get hit by a Confusion. That Thunder Punch did so much damage. Holy cow. Going straight for the Shadow Ball here. Really hoping this is going to land. It does go through. And so now I can just fully commit to Shadow Clawing down this Azumarill. Because they threw a charge move here. Oh, I actually let this go through, and then my Dugong is going to come out. One Ice Shard takes out the Azumarill. Good games. This is up against Valor Ash, a very prominent PvPer and Twitch streamer, so shout out to Valor Ash. We've actually been matched up so many times in Go Battle League, and it's pretty hilarious. It's almost like we're ultra friends with how much we battle in Go Battle League, but we have fought many times before. I believe in this match, I think I beat him, but we actually get paired up a little bit later on, and he beats me. So we go back and forth all the time, but they're always really fun battles. Out comes Melmetal. Thank goodness I have my Whiscash. Now with Melmetal, you need to be worried about the superpower. So I'm going to let this first thing go through. It's only a Rock Slide. I'm going to resist the Rock Slide and the Thunderbolt and the Flash Cannon. So I'm expecting at some point a superpower to get dropped on me, especially since he's over farming so much. He's probably going to try to double superpower right here, and then I'm going to commit to a Mudshot farm down. There's the first superpower. The second superpower I don't think would be enough to KO, but I shield up because of all this stored energy I have. If he has a grass type, this is going to be kind of rough. But out comes the Azumarill. I'm going to let this Ice Beam go through, and I barely survive. This is going to allow me to at least get one of these Mud Bombs off. I am down in shields, and now I switch in my Dugong. Going to get this Icy Wind debuff on this Azumarill here. I get a shield. Really good for me because we're now equal in shields, and my Haunter is becoming more and more useful now that shields are getting equalized. In a shield deficit, Haunter is really going to struggle. Out comes a freaking Pidgey. Oh, I think this is when he was trying his like sacrificial Pidgey swap, which he successfully executed it. But that little bird really didn't serve any purpose. And now Haunter can just come in and Shadow Claw down this Azumarill. Some good games. He was probably just messing around with that Pidgey strat, but good games nonetheless. Is always fun when we get to battle. Okay, I go up against Wolfroachoo 3 times in a row. Back to back to back. It's so annoying when that happens. This is a favorable matchup for Dugong. I do need to watch out for the Sludge Wave, but since I'm getting my Icy Wind off before they're throwing their heavier hitting charge move, I'm not as worried. So I don't need to shield up this first Sludge Wave. They switch into Meganium, and this is kind of rough for me. I really wanted to get that Icy Wind off before the Meganium threw the Frenzy Plant, but was not able to happen. This Icy Wind is going to do a lot of damage if they let it go through. They do let it go through, so now I'm going to bring in Haunter to farm down this Meganium. Just barely not able to farm it down. This is just going to be a Frenzy Plant, but still does so much damage to Haunter. Insane. I'm expecting that Swampert to come back out. which is okay with me. Oh, it's the Altaria. Very interesting. They're probably trying to avoid my Dugong, but I land the Shadow Ball there. They're able to fast move farm me down. Great play. I know they have that Swampert in the back. I bring out my Dugong. And at this point, I'm not going to shield this up. I have to bring out Whiscash. I know that they have Altaria in the back. Oh, this match is insane. This match is insane. You've probably never seen an ending like this. This is absolutely ridiculous. I let this Hydro Cannon go through. They still got 2 shields. You ready for a mud shot farm down on an Altaria? This is the only way I'm going to win. Woo! Oh my gosh. That was insanely close. Have you ever seen a Whiscash take out an Altaria with mud shots? I was like, when I was doing that, I'm like, is this really happening? Is this really happening? And it worked out. So here's the rematch again. Let's see how we plays differently. Out comes Meganium. I switch in my Haunter. I do need to watch out for the Earthquake. Honestly, you should just go straight Frenzy Plant, though, if you are the Meganium, because 2 Frenzy Plants is going to take out Haunter anyways. Going for a Shadow Punch bait here. I do get a shield. This is just going to be another Frenzy Plant, and I should barely be able to survive it. And then get off this Shadow Punch, which I think might just barely be enough to take out the Meganium. I do get the second shield, so they have regained switch advantage, which, yikes, okay. Meganium is going to be very good against both these Pokemon. Thank goodness I'm able to throw this Icy Wind before they're able to get to a Frenzy Plant. Oh my gosh, that Meganium would have put on so much pressure onto my team. Out comes Altaria. I'm expecting them to make a sacrificial swap right there, but honestly, I'm going to dump Icy Wind on whatever comes out. This Icy Wind lands on the Swampert. I'm going to switch. Oh, I was going to try to switch there, but this is most likely just going to be a Hydro Cannon, but I shielded up. Kind of a stupid play on my part. Over farming just a little bit. Now I'm going to switch into the Whiscash. Because this Swampert had its attack debuffed, these Hydro Cannons are not as scary. If I can land a Blizzard on the Altaria, it'll easily one-shot it. Going for the Mud Bomb here, and I'm able to do one more Mud Shot to take out the Swampert. At this point, I'm able to get to the Blizzard, and this is going to one-shot the Altaria and take it out. But Dugong would still have those favorable, that favorable matchup in the back. Good game there. All right, third time's the charm. Wolfroachoo. Oh, man, it sucks going against the same person twice, let alone 3 times. Even if you win, it's just... Okay, so this matchup plays out a little bit differently. We get some pretty significant lag there in the beginning. And so this forces me to have to shield right here because I thought it was going to be a Sludge Wave. And then he gets off another charge move. So I definitely think that he was able to sneak in some mud shots there in the beginning. He just goes straight up Hydro Cannon. So at this point, I'm kind of realizing that, oh, he's not going to commit any shields in this opening matchup. And then he's going to bring out Meganium to farm, which is a very smart move. And it's going to leave him with an energy or a shield advantage. Yeah, because my Dugong was totally drained on energy, this Meganium's going to beat me to the Frenzy Plant. And at this point, I'm like, I think the game is over. In a shield disadvantage, Haunter is really going to struggle. Out comes that Altaria. I have to successfully shield bait twice, essentially, or land the Blizzard. Which in this scenario, so I'm going for the first bait right here. It is successful. And at this point, I actually go for the Blizzard, thinking that he might hope that this is a bait again. And the Blizzard connects, which was really good for me. But now the Meganium was able to farm me down. I believe I'm like barely in Frenzy Plant range right now because this Meganium is so loaded. I don't think I'm going to be able to land 2 Shadow Punches on this Meganium. Probably just going to barely not be able to get there. And this Frenzy Plant is barely enough to take me out. Good game there. He got some sweet, sweet payback at the end there. Going up against Jingles 21 here. Very favorable lead from me. So I want to maintain this matchup. I'm expecting the switch out. Out comes Lantern. So I overfarm just a little bit, and then I can bring in Whiscash. Even if I get hit with a Hydro Pump, which is what this most likely is going to be, totally fine by me, because I can just go straight Mud Bomb, and I still know that I'm going to comfortably win out this match. I love when they switch in a Registeel or a Melmetal or something that's very weak to Whiscash onto my Dugong, because it allows this matchup to play out very favorable for me. Out comes the Altaria. I'm thinking that I can get to this Blizzard, barely able to get to it. This is definitely going to draw a shield, or it's going to one-shot the Altaria, which would be absolutely amazing. I do get the shield. Dugong is going to come back in and have a very favorable matchup here. I go straight for the Icy Wind. This is either going to force out that last shield or do an insane amount of damage. He lets it go through. It doesn't one-shot, but now that the attack is debuffed, I don't really need to commit a shield here. And Haunter with a shield advantage is going to just go ham, man. I do commit a shield here. Out comes Toxicroak. I want to get this Icy Wind debuff as quickly as possible. Then I'm going to bring in my Haunter. These Mud Bombs are still going to do a lot of damage. So I'm just not going to let the Toxicroak throw a Mud Bomb and go straight for Shadow Punch. I won the CMP. Barely not enough to take out the Toxicroak. But now I'm going to shield this up, Shadow Claw it down. The Altaria is very low in health. And my Shadow Claws are going to be enough to take it out. I'm actually able to get to this Shadow Punch as well, but good games there. So I really enjoyed this line of 3. I was struggling a little bit more with it today. I might have to switch out Whiscash for like an Alolan Marowak or something that has a little bit more play against grass types, because I was really struggling against that. But I ended up going 8-2 in this video, and then you'll see my rank go up to 3650, which is the highest I've ever been, which was pretty exciting. So if you want to support the channel and be on my friends list and train with me, head on over to my Patreon. The link will be down in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.